Hi again. Today I'd like to show you how to do a skinner blend. I'm using red, blue and white, and I'm going to do two different kinds, which I'll show you later. So what you're going to do is take your little red ball, or your first color, and you sharpen it into like I suppose I wouldn't know what you would call that, like a round ice cream cone shape. And then your blue you're going to do as well, and you need to make sure that you've got a nice sharp point and that they are the same length. They don't necessarily have to be the same size, but just so long as the top and the bottom are the same length. And then the white, you should really start with the white first because the white picks up so much color. So there's a 3. You do it with this one as well. Red. And the nice thing about this clay is that you don't have to worry about conditioning it or warming it up. It's actually quite a cold, rainy day today, and the clay is still working very, very nicely. Right. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your colors and you're going to put them edge to edge. Like so. And I want to do the same for both, because what I want to do is I want to make the skinner blends go in different directions. So there we've got red, red, white and blue, red, white and blue. I'm just going to squeeze them down a little bit. Okay, you can see a little bit of the red's gone onto the white there. So the one blend I'm going to make go that way, and the other blend I'm going to make go that way. Now, if you don't have a pasta machine, which if you're just starting out, you probably do not have a pasta machine, this does take quite a long time. Yeah, you just got to kind of persevere with that. So I'm going to put that on one side and start with this one. And you're just going to roll it. It becomes quite a long process. So roll it flat and then roll it up nice and tight, so you try not to get too many air bubbles. And then if you find that it's getting too wide, you just squeeze it in from the edges. So you're going to keep it in that one shape. Sorry, very sticky. And then roll it down again. Now, because you don't have a pasta machine and you're doing it by hand, make sure that you're rolling it nicely from the middle as well, putting pressure on the middle, because sometimes what can happen is you'll roll the edges flat and then the center is still quite thick. You can see it's starting to blend already. I don't know why my blue has gone on top, but we'll see. Hopefully that will change as we go along. And push in the sides. And you'll see a lot of people also, when they do this, they don't roll it, they just fold it up onto itself, which is also fine, but if you roll it, it will just go that little bit quicker. So we're going to just keep on. So what they would do then would just be to fold it. Again, just keep your eye on your edges. So you don't want it to go all that way. So you'll see this one is quite, your colors are kind of blending very lengthwise. If you find as well that you're not happy with how the colors are mixing, if you lose some colors, like with this one, I see I'm starting to lose a bit of the red on the side. You can always add a little bit of red afterwards, so you can just break off some red make it into a worm, or you can do it on the side with your white as well, and just add it on the edge when you go along. We'll see if it needs it as we keep rolling. I don't know if you can see as well that when you roll sometimes you can get quite a few little bubbles. See, there's a bubble there as well. So what I normally do is I lift it and stretch it slightly, and that just takes the bubbles out. That's just a little tip. And we just keep rolling, lifting, pulling. Oh, that side looks quite nice. And just keep on doing this. So if you've got a pasta machine, obviously this is going to go a lot faster, but that's also quite, they're not cheap, they're not, you know, it's not something that you want to go and invest in if you aren't sure this is what you want to do full-time, or part-time, full-time. So we've got some nice mixing going on here, and I definitely have lost the red, so let's add a little bit of red to that. And it's just really perseverance, just going on and on until you are happy with your end results. Push down in the middle and keep oops. So you can see now how the red has now formed part of it, and you're really getting some blending going into the red too. So I'm going to keep that on one side because this can go on for a long time. I'm actually quite happy with how this looks. So what I would then do is just fold it up, push in the edges, and then roll it to whatever thickness you want it to be for whatever you happen to be making. So if you want to make a nice long earring from it, or a pendant, you've got that lovely blend going through, which is so pretty. So that was that way. So that one we did in that direction. This one I want to do in the opposite direction. Just want to see how it will look if we do it that way. So this looks like it's going to be quite a bit more linear going that way across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just see if I can press pause so that it's not such a long video, and then I'll come back to you and see, oopsie, sorry, and see how we're going along. Okay, here we are back, and you can see this one has definitely got more of a gradual kind of like blending from that way to that way, but I do seem to have lost my white. I'm not sure if you can see, it does lighten the blue and it lightens the white a little bit here, but I probably next time I would use a little bit more white, because obviously the blue and the red are more heavily pigmented, so they're stronger, so they kind of overtake the white quite a bit. So that's something to consider for next time. And then this one is the one that I did first, which is in the opposite direction, so the blends are more across, and actually gives quite a nice, I could probably blend this more to get rid of these lines, but personally I actually like these lines. So you go as far as you want to, and when you're happy with how it looks, then it's done. So there we go. What you can do as well is you can pick up another color. Let me quickly show you, just as an example, if you don't want to now try and make those into a thicker piece. Let's see. You can take another color. I'm just going to take red because it happens to be the closest at hand. So one of the colors that you've used in there, just condition this a little bit. And then I'm just going to make like a slightly thicker base for it, for the other one, the blended one. See, behave. Now, this is a very soft clay that I have here, which I personally prefer. I find it a lot easier to work with, but a lot of people prefer harder clays. So the reason I'm saying that is if you have a harder clay and you're not using this clay, you will then take the rough edge of a sponge and just rough up the side a little bit so it sticks better. But because this is a nice sticky clay, you can just pop it on and that will stick. So what you do then is just cut off your edges. And then you have a nice thicker piece of clay. One side is nice and clean red, and then the other side has got your blend. And then what you can do is you take your cutter and you can cut out your earrings so that when you hang your earrings, once it's been baked, one side is clean and one side is blended. And there you go, that's your Skinner blend. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you for another one soon. Bye.